Hey y'all, and yeah, it just said I'm not scheduled till 10:30 p.m. So sorry guys, I put p.m. Hopefully you guys know usually when I'm on. So what's up, B-Rave? Dude, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to the channel. Once again, I'm gonna talk about some things today. With like, you know, Kali Ma, all these energies, Archangel Michael, we got protectors, we got the family of light, um, which I believe is just my family of light. I don't know how to explain it. This is unique to me. So guides, angels, guardians, uh, monsters, they're all included. Just because you're a monster doesn't mean you don't have a heart. You know what I mean? Shout out Frankenstein, right? Where's the love? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's really about, facing fear. Everybody was afraid of the big, scary Frankenstein, right? And all he wanted was some hugs, man. All he wanted to understand was, who am I? How did I get here? What the is going on, man? I woke up, you know, I woke up on a stretcher or on a bed, with all these parts and stitches, and nobody's explaining nothing to me, man. And I can't even talk. I walk like this for my balance, okay? That was me reaching out. Everybody ran away, got scared, got pitchforks. What's up, everybody? Sarah, hey, that way. You know, shout out Frankenstein. This is fun. I didn't know we were going to talk about Frankenstein, but for real. Shout out, where's the love? Facing the fears, and the reason I wanted to bring it up, and it kind of came last night. I was going to bed. Share with you guys, as you go further and further into your conscious awareness, right? Which is what I'm always, talking about. Like, it's real and it's here and it's, you're already there. Um, we just forgot what it looks like and what the connections are. It'll get easier and easier. So, I mean, I went to bed last night and closing my eyes, and I wasn't seeing like perfectly, but I mean, it was not just dark, it was not just, I mean, there was somebody who was really close to me who I'm not sure, um, to the left, there was a lot of green color, kind of like a dark forest green. And I think it's my planet again, which I've visited, on occasion a couple of times. But it's a different angle of it. But, as your third eye, it comes open. And then when you sit there and you think like, okay, what level of thoughts are these on? And you can tell by the energetic frequency, the speed, almost the higher vibration, that you're able to, and it'll open your third eye. It'll connect, and then your third eye will open into that. And it'll happen more and more and more as you become consciously aware of what you're doing. When we go to sleep, we're, it's not just this time to become unconscious, even though, we sort of do, and, what are our dreams, but, and then facing fear, of what that is or what it could be, leading into the idea that, the fears, it's always you. It's always like, if you put it on yourself, if you put it, like Frankenstein, that's why I chose the thumbnail picture, because when you see something that you think, the only reason you fear is because you think something is going to hurt you, right? And so if you realize that you can talk and you can interact with anybody and everybody, like, 85% of 90% of interactions, are like really not life threatening. But look how scared, the world gets, or, and all you guys know that's all part of the narrative and that anyways. But, um, being able to face that, being able to face yourself and getting over the ego side of whatever it is, because ego is victim, ego is perpetrator, right? Um, it can be either way because yin and yang in the swing. So, you know, um, I said once to someone, was explaining, your thoughts create your feelings, and if you believe your feelings and your emotions, you believe your thoughts, it creates that energetic emotional resonance, and then you think it's real, even if it's like not happening to you. It's like watching movies. That's why we enjoy movies, or even music. You don't need to see it, you can just hear it, and then that becomes alive within you. Like scary movies or scary violins and stuff like that. There's resonance, right, with that, but there's always a reason, and so when I was explaining to someone this, they're saying, why are you, why do you keep, or why are you explaining that, why are you this? And I was trying to portray to them the depth that it really exists in, the reason why you feel, because even if it's frequency and it's going to make you worry or something, or make you this, you still have control over your reaction, and you don't have to, we're not living in a world that that just hits you all the time. It's more of you hitting it, affecting it, right? Like the idea of mind, body, soul. Why do we say mind, body, soul? We say because like you'd think it'd be soul, mind, body, right? Top down, or you might think it's bottom up, but it's internal, right? Mind, body, soul. So if you're internal, so if everything external is a reflection of, like, is a holographic reflection of your internal, right, consciousness and all of this, then it all is your creation, right, in that sense. And the fear, I'm trying to hold on to this. This is, I wanted to unpack all of this. You know, okay, hold on. So the fear gets, I mean, it's simple. It's as simple as to just say it like that. It's your fear, get over it. Like that, we can say it in a more plain sense. But it's always deeper. And as the world realizes, like, the depths, as their own depths, as people, as consciously living on the planet together, the subtleties of it all. Um, and there's a difference between, I always pick on the ladies, because they're more receptive, so they feel, sometimes that, they're getting hit, they can't help it, but, and it's not easy, but it's like ancient Chinese martial arts or whatever, it takes practice, like real practice, to get to that level where you can understand, like for that time of the month for the ladies, and you know you can affect that with your everything, so when saying facing the fear, it's all of the fears, it's all of the victimization, it's all of the being too overbearing and stuff like that, it's like, and it filters into, like, to so many things because of the society that we're in, especially the time now. And that's really why we wanted to talk about this now, because of what's going on with everybody. I mentioned in a post, welcome to stage 2. First stage denial, second stage anger. And so we still really haven't hit that point, in the collective. And I mean, we have definitely enough people mad at, you know, people, but it's like the truth, unraveling. Like, this next part is gonna, be big for the collective, and the denial is sort of past, and because that's what it's been for such a long time. People who don't want to face their fears, or people who don't want to, anytime, we stay home and or we stay safe, or, I don't want to believe that's going on, or don't say that about the world, this and this, um, but if you let, okay, now going back to the ladies, right? Like, so like relationship, like ladies often say, um, or decide based on how you make me feel, right? That's what it is. It's how he makes me feel. I don't know. He's a total asshole, but the way he makes me feel, that's so cute. It's beautiful. It's intended to be beautiful. But that if you're letting something else tell you how to feel, like that's the external. That's why I always say, to me, guys are less material, or women like a lot, like shoes and purses and dresses, like they like, and that's good. It's good. It's not a bad thing. Um, but when you let those things define you, that's why I say any mood can make you feel like whatever, which it's all going to be you and your projection. What kind of mood do you like? What kind of mood do you want? What kind of mood are you going to accept from this person? What kind of, in this moment, what kind of mood, all of this stuff. So it's that consistent, outward, we're constantly hearing a story or reading a book or doing this or doing that, and those things are great. Sorry, I'm like whatever. I woke up a little, took it slow this morning, slept in. But we're always looking outside to find out what's inside, and if we just had what was inside, right, more than anything, we'd figure out a lot more. You'd know a lot more about yourself. Like if we didn't have so much technology here, there, this or that, we had to like live off the land. If we had to like do, if we could live, it's all about those ways that you're living. And so, um, facing fears to change your life into something you might not feel like you're an expert at yet, or you're really good at, or this, or it's like there's so many fears of someone of a different idea, that has different ideas. I talk to people, and when I talk like this, it's weird. It can get weird for them, and some people, they're, it triggers or it scares them in some way. Like, I mean, look at the world. People say something, and then everyone will have a conniption over it. It's like the Pope or like the president. I don't know half. I probably don't know nothing that they've said except for what I've seen on, you know, uh, like quick videos or people on YouTube or something. But like, and that leads to the facing the fear of where you can go and do anything, right? The same with anyone. And you don't have to fear interacting with people, because it's only that moment when you allow whatever they said or whatever it feels like, right, to decide the outcome instead. You decide how you feel, right? He makes me feel good. It's like, well, then you in for a treat, because there's going to be a lot of guys out there that want to make you feel good. So have fun, it's going to be great. Don't, I wouldn't assume he's always going to do that, but you might as well just go to the next one and then the next one. See, I get it. It's all just crazy out there. What are we going to do? Like, I'm not, but we're all like that. Where we're taking in what we think, and then it's yeah. So facing fear. Okay, I want to see what you guys think. You tame the ego, accepting all things and participating in ones of your choosing. Yeah, and that's so much of what it is. No, you're totally right, because that's totally right, because I kind of wanted to call this or like title this, instead, like just conscious creation creatorship. We're co-creators, and you're learning to do it consciously, right? Why do we have all the missing connections, whatever spirit? Why can't we tell this? Look at this. Listen, you can. You already can. You got to learn how to do it, right? And it's like anything you haven't done before. You got to do something never done before to have something you've never had before. But the path is already set within you. So it becomes easy, to follow, to do the things And then it's just a matter of, you know, um, like I said in the last video, you know, you're talking to your spirit, you're or to your from your spirit to your human, you know, at all times. Uh, and so you start to feed the human. You start to get the good habits, you know. Uh, when you eat healthy, when you work out, you drink plenty of water, when you rest, you're gonna feel good, all the time. I think that's something people do is as soon as we start to feel good, we want to go out and party. you know, yeah, woo. And then, you have some drinks and then you're like, I mean, woo, but this really isn't making me feel better. I'm just like necessarily, because now the next day I don't feel better. And something tells me if I would have just had some celery juice in the shake and, would have went to bed early and didn't drink anything, whatever, I probably would have feel better. And it's like, yeah, so why aren't we doing that? Well, we're so used to, the programs of the world, society, to finding stimulation out of things, right? Because of the 9 to 5, the rigmarole or the whatever, the system the way it is. And we're looking for that adrenaline rush. We're looking for, so how he makes me feel, right? Or even for girls or for a guy, a girl that makes a guy feel, something when by getting riled up, and then it gets him riled up, right? Why do we want to get riled up? Why do we, like I said with the movies, we have a entire genre called drama. It's like, what's so dramatic about what he just said? Nothing. I don't think there is, but we're gonna go with all the feelings that are involved in this right now. So it's like, and it's wonderful to learn to play with those feelings, right? But then once you become attached to the outcome, because now you're playing and you want to have a fun time playing, right? It always like rolls back all the way to you, um, starting everything with your intentions, being everything and doing and whatever you want to think. Kali Ma is just saying like, you know, yell at somebody, right? She's just got her face open and she's yelling. You know what I mean? Like that's why I totally found that picture, the thumbnail. But facing your fear and even if you were to yell at somebody straight in front of their face, right? Just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I had fear, I needed to face it. I don't know why you represented it right there, but if you want to know why, I could tell you, and then I say thank you for like, that's gonna be a weird conversation, but don't worry, we're the weird conversations are coming. If you think of the generations and the kids that are coming, right? The more awake, you know, say they're out of school in 20 years, so 10, but there's a bunch of it's not that it's every year is another upgrade every time we're turning them out of school, I guess. But um you know next 10 years or so it's going to be very different, especially now with people, are us more people talking to your kids these ways. The kids, they're going to talk to each other. They're going to be like, yeah, my mom and dad, they've always would do spiritual stuff too. Whatever. Yeah, I'm from planet, right? Like, I'm a Pleiadian. You're what? And they'll be in like, 5th grade or something. It's going to be great. um, and it's not something scary, right? Like, why are people afraid of the alien talk? Why are people afraid to talk about religion? Why are people afraid to share your political views? Because I'm sure, I would like to think that your views are what they are because in some way you want prosperity, even if it's just for yourself and you're not thinking of all the people that you might affect or something. But you know what I mean? Like, I think it, we're gonna come together, you guys. The world is coming together. It's gonna be really great. But there's a lot of fears on both sides. There's fears of the victim, and then there's fears of the powerful to lose it all. Whatever the case, or you stay oblivious to it all. And then if you're oblivious, it's like neglect or, just ignoring things, right? Um, what's going to happen? Well, whatever, you're not even going to know. You're leaving it all up to chance. You're leaving it up to the mix of all the energies, of all the people, of all everything that's here. Uh, and in some situations we have to, so you can tell by putting your light into that situation and notice how it feels. If you send your light somewhere, you're feeling good. If you feel like resistance coming back and you feel kind of like this, then your light isn't needed there, right? Or, you can, if you know how to stay centered and generate more energy, you can hit it again with more light, and see if you can affect it. But a lot of times, that's the most you can do, because then when you get there and you're in the moment and the whole family is gathering, right? And then Johnny goes nuts again or starts talking about weird conspiracy stuff. It'll be Michael and Johnny talking about, are you going to be able to handle it, right? So what happens in the minds of people when these things turn on? You know, where all of a sudden now they're in fear mode. They're programmed, because we're programmed in the world to either love or hate. You know what I mean? Or to like or dislike, or I like that or I don't like that. What do you like? What's your favorite color? I like all of them. Um, what is this? What is that? Trying to identify who an individual is by limiting their who they can be, that's not how you do it. So that's why, like I said, with all the psychology stuff and all this and that, it's great, but it's all just tools. All the books, all the readings, they're all just reminders that you set up for yourself. That's why you're reading that one book that you're reading, as opposed to some other book, or you're doing this or you're doing that. It's it's for you to keep moving with, to not get stuck in dogma. And that's the place that a lot of people are at in the world. These are always collective. I call these Sunday spiritual collective update sessions. That's all I feel like I'm doing. I'm ever talking about, it's funny. We'll get into other types of things. It's just been a whole lot, I think, for all of us. And when I go through this collectively and I see how, there's a lot of work, going on in the background, and it's great. Like, when you do the work and you're all powerful and when you get that more energy and you hit them again with light, I mean, that feels great. You realize what you're able to do. Um, but then there's the overall, state of the world, sort of, and whether some people are, some people aren't, there's always exceptions. We're always at different places. We're all connected to that collective feeling, right? Where, which now it's coming out, it's the surface is rising. The Legion, shout out Legion. We were talking, I was talking to them earlier this morning, and I'm glad we got to shout out to the Legion. The Legion is coming, and the Legion does not want to cause any more trouble. The Legion understands the trouble, was put in the trouble, and doesn't want to live in the trouble anymore, just like people, right? So, like I said, that stage 2, that the collective is kind of going to be, uh, because it's been denial for so long. It's been denial and neglect, because even if, for a lot of people who know what's going on, they, or like the average person who knows what's going on, still having to put it out of your mind so you can just take care of the family, go to work, get your stuff done anyways, so, because there's plenty of people, that, whatever their stance is, they know like some of these systems could be better. And so whatever level, of, like, again, it's real, like I say, it's happening now. You're in it, and that's what we do with our minds. We compartmentalize, we shut things off, turn things on. People talk about filters, implants. Listen, they're yours, man. They're yours, 100%. If you have an agreement with some, the Pleiadians, to excuse me, have a communication implant, and cool, it's yours. You don't want it in there anymore? Tell them to take it out, or tell yourself and the agreement and all beings involved, you're choosing no more. Because in a free, loving, sovereignty, it's because there's a lot of things that come with that. A lot of people want to understand sovereignty. How do I become free? God's not free. This. We don't feel like that. Oh, but right. But you always are, right? Don't ask this stuff that's going on to give that to you. It doesn't mean things won't happen. It doesn't to you. Like you can't just walk up in the like rush going up into the White House or something, and not get shot. I mean, at least on a normal day. Um, but don't be silly like that. Well, I'm God's sovereign free. I should be free because I'm with God and I'm walking wherever I want to go, and they're gonna shoot me because I'm trespassing. I mean, like, yeah, that still exists. It's like don't be silly with the God sovereign free. Understand that you're God sovereign free within your own right to exist. Like, not right given from somebody else. Like you're already here. You get to choose what you think, what you eat, everything you want to do. You get to choose it. Do we have some limitations? Sure, right? But who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares, right? Are you paralyzed by the fear of what might happen or whatever, or are you just like going to be like, yeah, whatever, what else is new? That this place, always helps me out all the time, right? Like, why am I not surprised? Or why am I surprised? And then it's doing something you never did, but so the fear overcoming the fear, coming over the fear. that's what that's huge. It's huge. It's why the whole world freaked out about this pandemic. Let's say call for what it is, you know. And it's not like I didn't get worried and scared and upset too. And no, right, just with the collective. Just as I saw this coming out, I said, "OMG!" And then we're all trying to reach out to each other, and everybody's got a different idea, and it just shows how the majority of people, or at least some whatever number of people, are not doing their own research in all areas of their life that are going to help, make it better, right? Like, um, because we want to trust someone else. Anybody wants to take the pill that's going to make you feel like invincible or young again, or whatever. Sure, hey, as soon as we get that elixir, man, hook me up, I'm down. We get these technologies back, let's go, as I know we got them. But in doing that, you're allowing someone else to give you what you believe that they have, that you really need. And literally, guys, 100% of the time, you already have what you need. You just need to go meditate. Like, 100% of the time, a good meditation, you will be fine no matter what's going on in your life. 100% of the time, right? So why aren't we going and doing that, right? We know what not doing that does, right, as a people, but we keep looking for more. We keep, uh, because meditation isn't some fancy thing that some guru somewhere, came up with, and blah, blah, blah. It's just been a part of life like forever. It's connecting again. Animals meditate. They didn't read a book. They didn't. You see them meditate and they lay out in the sun. What do you think they're doing? They're soaking in. They're connected to the sun and the earth, and more than you can imagine. Because they don't have all these books and all this stuff that they're supposed to worry about and supposed to support in their society to make it better, because somebody somewhere is telling me, You know, it's like being at work, you know, and the boss is always telling you to do stuff, and you're like, this isn't helping. You know, like I got like a whole bunch of ideas we could do, you know, make all this better. You know, the computer doesn't ever work. I don't know why you make me connect to the Wi-Fi, and I don't have data on this, you know, so I can't take it with. I mean, I gotta find a Starbucks every time instead of just being able to be in my car and do like I gotta do. You know, there's so many things that, like, in every aspect of life, that we could all be, you know, more efficient in this and this. And when we all understand that, when we ask why isn't it? Why, you know, and then it's this, it's all of, it's the, you know, you already know, you already know. That was the other thing to say, like, you already know why you're afraid of something, why you love something, why you hate something. You already know, and it's not what, but it's why. It's not what you believe, it's why you believe, right? So I just keep laughing. Oof, I have to blink my eyes. That's why my eyes, I think I've noticed that my eyes will look around a lot. It's not because I'm looking for things. It's just because it's like Stevie Wonder, man, you know? Like I'm flowing with the energy. I'm not gonna say, okay, you gotta say, you know, like, so I apologize if I'm not. But then when I gotta blink my eyes back into like normal, like 3D land. Um, find something that's fact, apply it in your life, play, and have fun. Most importantly, yeah, totally. We all have to be having fun, because you realize, like, you get to create the fun in every moment that you're anywhere. You're walking into the store, you know, I don't like this store. I don't want to be in here with all these people. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time, especially, you know, sensitive, light worker type, you know, whatever, energy people. Yeah, sure. But when that's because you're focused and you're projected out onto that place again, right? So you're feeding that energy with your attention, because what you think you create more of. So if you walk in more, if you inside and you're like, I'm invincible, you know, whatever, you know, Lion King up in here, get out of my way, get out of my face, you know, you know, and just play, you know, and you know, there's always going to be people that are in the store that are in the, like, I don't want to be here and blah blah blah, you know. And what is the best thing you can do for them anyways? Is just go, hey, what are you doing? Hey, can you help me find something? Hey, you know, and then just snap yourself out of it, you know. And that's that kid like stuff where we just gotta play, you know. Hey, what are you doing over there? You know, and they're just like you know, looking at something, and they just like look at you like, what, you know. Oh, no, 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 not you, or no, yeah, you, yeah, what do you know, just, you know, it's there's so much you're capable of, you know. Think of how many things you've done and said, and how much, you know, like all the different ways you've been. Think about being a kid. Think about your imagination. Use this. Who cares if somebody, what was it? I was, shout out mom. I was talking to mom. She said she started singing. She was at the what was she singing? Like an Aerosmith song? Yeah. And she was just like shopping in the middle of the store, and she was just singing it like out loud, you know. And I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, there was a lady who was doing that. Her and her daughter, they were singing Frozen, and she was killing it. She was killing it. I don't know if I told you guys about this. It was like a year ago or 2 years ago or something, a long time. And yeah, it was like like she was on the aisle next, and then I was like, dang, and then she came on my aisle and like right next over by, you know, grabbing some cans or whatever. And then I just looked and smiled. And yeah, it was beautiful, you know. And now, sure, people can't sing, you know, I mean, but, and again, you gotta be realistic. Just stay true. Don't lie to yourself. Oh man, I'm the best singer in the world. No, don't do that in the store. But you know, if you're singing quietly to yourself or something, you know, and so, you know, mom, she's like, I don't care what anybody's saying. I'm like, right, good. You got over that fear, you know, the fear of like somebody out there who's just gonna, you know, because we're taught to value looks, class, the way, how someone is like this and how someone is like that. And, we all want to be seen like this. We don't want to be seen like that. There's so much just this, we don't need that stuff. But I loved it. I'm so glad she was, because I was singing too. And it's really funny. I think it was this week at work. I was singing, and I'll tap my feet or something if I got my earbud in and I got, some music playing. Um, or I'll like dance around. And I'll be like this, like, just do stuff. Like it just pops out, and that's that freedom of being a kid that they try to take away, yo. Trying to take it away from us, right? By telling us I'm wrong, I'm bad, I need to stop, I need to, what? I mean, stop. You mean stop like this? You don't like it? Are you getting scared? Are you getting fearful because I'm a radical person and you don't know what I'm capable of right now? And it means that I'm going to destroy Earth as you know it, or your life. I mean, like, right. But then think of that too. Like we'll think of stuff like that. It's like, it's like, I got to use mom as an example again. Shout out mom. But, the one time she was saying, she's like, I don't want to be driving, like, accidents, people drive like crazy, and I'm just like, no, you're right, but I mean, you're just never gonna drive ever again. We kind of gotta, don't worry about it. You can't, and you get to that point when you realize like you're gonna go where you're gonna go, when you're gonna go, and that's all you can ever do is go, right? Or you sit here in the moment and be, still point, and then you go, right? When you get to the still point, finally, you're gonna realize that you're going everywhere all the time. The second you have a thought that's outside of no thoughts, right? We're going everywhere all the time. You can't stop yourself if you wanted to, okay? Unless you meditate, like I say, and that's why it's important. We're never stopping. We're never, okay. Yeah, gotta get back to ego. I think we'll talk about the ego. We're doing fear. You know that you know that you know that you know you are all things. Yeah, exactly. Walking Milo. Woof. Yeah, woof. Hey, go ahead. You just woofed it. I did woof too. See, the woofs are on point today. Uh, yeah, that they're only fearing fear. That's exactly what it is. What it is. Hey, G. Hey, wait. Uh, woof, woof. Good. I'm glad to hear. I know you had a big move, G. Hope it's all going good. Um, this year is going to be the year to pop off a lot of amazing things. You got taking nothing for granted. Yo, day by day, there you go. Hey, that's all we can do, Plan for the future and do day by day. Yep, G. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, it's going to be amazing what we're going to be coming into. It really is. It's a wonderful feeling seeing all of this come out, like on all sides of the spectrum, like um right, and to actually see it like in mainstream type of news places and stuff, and that goes to show how awesome people are, right? When people have a voice, right, instead of all this censorship, you know which we do, and they're not going to shut us all down. And too bad, so sad. Um, you know, we're going to realize how much of us really care about life and care about each other and care about living in a better world. You know, he, you just reference the wars or like past history of all peoples and all. It's changing again. It's changing again, and it's changing because really in a gentle way, like because they've been just suffocated, right? They've been in one way, but they've been overwhelmed by people, right? They've been. It's like the wealth transfer that's changing. How are they gonna? How do we? How do we stop this? It's all because of the money. You got the money, you got control of all the resources, you got control of everything because you buy it all. Um, and that's getting spread too thin, you know, and everything they say is backfiring. So it's just like the more they try, the more they're hurting themselves at this point. So a lot's going to change. And I honestly, when I was talking with Spirit, they're probably going to play the card next of, okay, they know, so let's be honest and let's try and narrate a new story with honesty, but still hold on to power somehow, right? So I always knew they'd have a scapegoat. They have to throw somebody under the bus. Uh, so to make it look like justice is being served. Um, and that's only and that's just them getting pushed back. So like people are awesome. We're all so powerful. Everything you do is like so valuable, to this. Even if you're just taking breaks and you're relaxing for yourself, like that's valuable. See the value in everything. See the value in a blade of grass. Can you see the universe in a blade of grass, right? Uh, it just transcends the issues, I believe, that many of us think we face, or many of are the ones that plague a lot of us. Plague. I don't these are okay glasses back on. I don't like not being able to read when I can't. Um, oh, thank you. That way, I hope I'm uh, explaining it well. That's why I want to be available. Like to everyone in the universe, um, because like whether it's not about rights and wrongs. It's about exploration in this journey and learning and resonating with what feels the best for you. So yeah, I didn't resonate with that person, so that was wrong for me. It's not that it is wrong. And so the more it's why I always say, the more feedback I get from you guys, like that's why I say put me in front of anybody, because the more energy, power, the more knowledge, that the more whatever they have, they feed me that. And then it's like we just get to the balance point because, I mean, now if you're going to talk about like, engineering stuff and how to build like you know, a ship or something, right? I mean, that's cut and dry. That's easy. No, I don't know how to build a ship. We're not trying to build a ship here. We're talking about evolution, really, of the mind. Um, and I think that's of consciousness. So yeah, it's a little different, It's like, it's right. It's weird. Put me in front of anybody, but not like an engineer. Um, and that's just because for me, I function and I flow naturally this way. Uh, you know, uh, Finding out as much as I can, but applying it, and that's what your unique thing is, whatever that is. People say, oh, there's so many tarot card people out there. Sure, but shout out to every single one of them because they know that it's valuable, right? They know that, you know, whatever the way they're saying it, right? Um, and that's why I'm such a proponent of that. Like us all sharing and getting out of our fears. I don't know why sharing anything, should be scary or should be, you know, uh, but again, that's the, shout out to the ladies. That's the, you made me feel, right? Why can't we talk about this? Well, because when we do, Michael gets super excited and assertive and passionate and borderline aggressive, you know, uh, and then the way that makes me feel, right, is all up on edge and blah 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 blah, blah and I can't handle it, and then I gotta, and then it's all your fault and you're right, be in a relationship. Um, I don't know that, but you know, it's such a common thing where we feel like we're victims because the world isn't recognizing how we need it to or whatever. But the actual truth is you're opening yourself up to whatever it is that someone else's vibration is gonna, you know, it's like children or something, right? When they're like getting used to the screaming or something. I think of, right? Like at first it's like, oh no, my baby's dying, oh my God, run over there, and then after a while it's like he just crying because he can't get what he wants to get and he's not gonna get it, so let him cry. And you get used to, because we can do that with anything. You can do that with anything in the world, um, anything, but you have to do it with yourself first, because you won't know why it's happening out there. And a lot of times it is simple, it's like it's not complex. It just has a lot of layers. So, when you don't see the other layers, it's like, oh yeah, that was, that took a while, or, but it's not necessarily complex, it's just, it's like when I was younger and clowns, when I was like a kid, clowns that, 5 years old or whatever, they scared the crap out of me. Anybody, any clown, any face, get away from me with that weird fake ass smile. You know what I mean? There was a reason why I didn't like it, because it's not authentic. You can't paint a face on your face and make me not see your face that I still see. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird to me as a kid. But then you get older and you just realize it's art expression. It's forms of, personally, I think clowns are weird for kids, but still kind of do to this day. you know so a lot of things are really just simple, right? We don't have to complicate them. We don't have to, the way you think that something like is, or the reason why it's happening, and like the way you would like solve it, and the way, and we always want to, do that and think stuff, but it's like, it's a lot of times that's not why it's necessarily happening, like coincidences and synchronicity, right? And there's no coincidences, right? Like there's a reason, and it goes back to this and it goes back to that, and it goes, that's why I feel, again, communication, you know being able to see the patterns, right, within us, as because you're not just like me. I'm a Libra. I'm not just a Libra, right? Nobody's just this, nobody's just that. But when I read and I say, okay, communication and balance, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. What does that mean in my life? I think we should all have that anyways. I don't think it's more or less, right? It's just how I created myself and how I talk. You know what I mean? It's not even what I'm like thinking in my soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, what our souls are saying is a communication level that we wouldn't even need to be blah 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 all the time. Right? And I think that's what is so important to everyone in the world. Anybody who's out there trying to show themselves, they want to see me. Anyone who's hiding, at home, they want someone to see them. You know, we all want that because we're all one. We all have the desire to connect with each other, and that's more, let's say, that's way more fulfilling, than on TV or watching TV or this or that, right? But we get to the, again, the program societal mindset where it's like everyone's out to get you and life just sucks and this and that. It's like, no, listen, like, it's not really the case. That's just what we've been told, all of us, right? You like I told mom the one time, I don't know, a long time ago, I was like, uh, you know, like the same thing happened to her that's happened to me. The same thing, so, like, I don't blame, I love you, mom, I don't blame you, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I talk about it and I say, yeah, when I was young and then you and me and we got in that argument or whatever, like yeah, it's you because it's you, but identification, and she's getting there, she's actually like waking up a lot. There's a lot of energy that she's cleared off. So it's really cool to see your family start to wake up, even if it's just I can feel it in her vibrationally. I know, you know what I mean? So um, it's really nice. Like it's all coming. It's all coming to everybody with this truth, all these truth bombs. Disclosure's got to have. So denial's the first stage. We're like getting out of denial, going into the stage, whatever. We're at the cusp. We're going to be hitting stage 2, where we have to set the tone to not let people be so mad at everyone, right? Like I shared the origin of COVID, and then oh, did I say that word? Oh no, yeah, it's the same. And uh, I laughed. I was just like, oh my gosh, and then they said, somebody put it's not funny, and I was like, well, after calling this out since it started, it's it's just funny, and it was funny because it said accidentally. So accidentally, so I was laughing too. So it's like funny. And like it's not funny. So that's why I was just like, yeah, okay, stage 2. So now you're admitting it, right? This is someone who was not hearing it for the whole first 2.5 years right now, or 2 years or whatever. Like, and so now it's going to be stage 2 for the collective. So we have to make sure to it's okay. Yeah, it's really terrible. All of this is, we've been saying that from the beginning, you know, we've been saying from before it started, look what they're planning on doing. It's like, yeah, I get it, way past you guys on this one, but, um, they're going to need to know that. They're going to need to feel, we're going to need to make it funny. We're going to, and to me, it's funny because of how bad they didn't try to even cover anything up. Like, this business owns that business. This dude is a shareholder in that dude's and wife's business. And then you know what I'm saying? It's like it's all out. It's all right there. Like it's all on computers and somewhere, and like it's all out there. So it's just funny. Like, so when it was denial for the first 2 years for the collective, we got to make sure they don't get too angry. I think I've heard of that before, saying, people are going to get really angry once they find out all the truth, because a lot of people are going to want to blame some other country, right? We're going to blame the labs, it's not our kind. We're going to blame these people, we're going to blame those people, and we can't let them throw us into like another war. Well, now we got to go to war with these guys because they started it. Like, no. We're gonna all of this is gonna come out. We're gonna find out and then once we find out it was some of us too, we don't want to hurt those people either. Like when I think of these people and these things that are happening, at first, yeah, that's why I say I want to line them up and go like that, like, and that's it. Just, and then time out if we need to. But the whole vengeance, and revenge, and that's how upset a lot of the world is, or a lot of that might come out. So it's good that we have this, the way that it's coming out, and people can touch on it when they want. Like, I'm gonna look this up if I want to. Okay, I keep hearing more of this, so okay, now I'll look it up. So it is. It's tempting to be as gentle and non-violent as we can, right? Yeah, we know that's we know. So we got to do our part and make sure that we stay nice, be nice, right? There it is. Be nice. I haven't said that in a while on the channel, have I? Be nice, right? That's always the same here. Just be nice, and everybody will be okay. Like, no matter how mad you are, no matter why you're mad, no matter how unjustified you feel, okay? Ego. That's getting over your ego. Thank you. I was hoping, I said earlier, we're going to do more ego. Yeah, ego. Everything we're talking about, right? Is ego. all of this fear, even the love can be, you know, when it's when you well, you get a sense of who you are because you love something, that well, okay, yeah, you already love it. You don't it does, like what do you mean? Like what else do you need? You're already in love with the flower. You already love the flower. You don't have to, but we live in a world where now we gotta identify ourselves as the guy who likes flowers, right? And but I'm not gonna be afraid that all the people who are gonna make fun of me because I like flowers. Like, like, so I'm gonna come out as, and that's good because that's liberating for us all, right? Like through the darkness, right? We transcend that energy and we flip it, and I'm gonna own it, right? So own it, yeah, own it. You should be owning the fact that you like flowers. Kind of guy out there doesn't like flowers? What is wrong with him? You know what I mean? You don't like any of them? No, not a single. I don't even like grass, pluck dirt, and dust. I don't like none of it. Like it's just weird. It's weird. There's so much ego, so much ego. It's there's so much ego. Like, people have no idea, right? Like especially you go through your layers, right? Even me, like like even I don't know, I like to catch them when I can, and I like to think that I stay connected long enough that they knock me off anything, but that's it. I'll have a thought or say or something because my past pattern, something, I mean, boom, and then if I don't catch it, then I go on with it, and then I'm getting involved in some human creation based on what I thought, what I've known, and and it's not bad or good, but and that's why ego isn't necessarily bad or good. Like if you take a sense of yourself, from something you did, that's a sense of self, worth, self-esteem. That's like the positive ego, if you want to call it like that, right? We don't have to, don't let the words do that thing where they have the life of their own. They tell you what they mean. You know, we mean what we mean when we say what I say. um, and that's why, like, no censorship, nobody out there, right, can tell you what you're saying, like, ever. Because if they ask, you could just change it. Like, or whatever. I'm not saying, I'm not saying to lie or something, but like that. But it's funny, what do you mean? Like, a lot of times it's not what you meant, right? A lot of times our souls are trying to say something through our bodies, if not at all times, and we are only limiting ourselves with what we're allowing ourselves to say, or what we're afraid to say, or what we're not afraid to say, or what we're, um, and that's why the key is to laugh all times. Just laugh, laugh, and laugh again, because it it just snaps you out of every moment. If it's an embarrassing moment and you laugh, cool, sense of humor about it. If it's a scary moment and you laugh, cool, sense of humor about it. If it's dramatic and intense and the whole world's coming to an end, and then you're like, well, what are we gonna do? Let's play. On the Titanic. Like, what are we gonna do? It's yeah, and it's only when you get caught up in those thoughts and then you dwell on, like, oh no, this is terrible. Right? That's when you get stuck there. 100% of the time. 100% of the time, no matter what's happening, no matter if you're getting punched in the face and it doesn't feel good, right? It just, and that's why it's tough for a lot of the world. They feel so impacted by, yeah, I think I'm just blabbing some stuff. So impacted by the things, right? So you got to face those. We got to face those fears. How do we face those fears? Come on, Callie. She says, just overcome the energy. Like I was saying, she's like I was saying with the light, put more light on it if it can't. It's not about, oh, I can't handle that. It's about they can't handle me. Change how you feed yourself, right? Uh, Tsunami. No, no. Oh, dang. Everybody's on the beaches. Right? Exactly right. Because that's what we needed. We needed everybody to show up and say no. Ain't no gonna be no tsunami. What you talking about? I'm gonna shut that down with my thoughts, with all of us. The attention span of most humanity is under 1 minute. Yeah, yeah, I read that. It's like the attention span of a goldfish. It was funny. The guy he was asking people questions out on the street, and it was, well, it's America, right? So he's like, and he says in 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed by, blah 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 blah. Americans' freedom, blah 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 blah. In what year was it did they sign the Declaration of Independence, right? He just said 1776, and they didn't have a clue. They were like, oh, it's like, dude, somebody's on the street talking to me for like, it was like a 10-second question, 20-second question. I don't know. And you couldn't even, like, you weren't even there. You weren't even there, People were walking around in a cloud, you know what I mean? It's just like, and that's okay. Like, it's not a bad thing, but the reason why everyone's freaking out, right? They got to face their own fears, right? Like the saying, face your own. Are you afraid of your own greatness, or are you afraid of, failing, And it's like, okay, well, we can think of a million ways to be afraid, you know, like a million different reasons, but you can't live that way, I mean, and it should be those things that make you live even more passionately, even more purposefully, even more, because all right, when we realize that we're literally facing negativity, facing bad guys every day and overcoming them, right? We're literally already the superheroes of it all. It's just the monsters are psychological. It's, we don't have giants. We don't have, like it's not like it was back in the day when it was physical, um, right? Or something like that. Not to say it isn't elsewhere in the galaxy, but you know, or on Earth. But I'm just saying, for like us as humans, shut up as us for humans. Right? They always, that's how they check me. They're like, no, this, no, that, you forgot this, you forgot that. If I spend it here doing that, you guys, okay, it would be forever. Um, what was I saying? Yeah. So it's, the monsters inside our heads, monsters that we think that guy is, right? Like the Pope. Who cares who the Pope is? President. Who cares who the president? If you think that we need a president in order to have a world, then you're going to care who the president is. So if you care who the president is, you're giving them all your power. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like people who know how to survive and know how to live, they don't need help. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's, and that's why there's that divide in the world where it's like, oh, people on welfare, they just taken from people because they don't want to work and this and this and that, But then there's like the fact of like we're literally slaves to the monetary system, So it's like, yeah, like it kind of just happens in that way. It was like literally set up like that, I'm pretty sure that deep down in the heart of heart, the soul of the soul, anybody who is on welfare or whatever the case is in these, politics, um, that like if they could spend their day just, growing plants or something, like I say it all the time, we human energy, right? Feeding off human energy. We could just get like, could I get paid to go smell the flowers? No. Okay, well that's why we're not living on peace right now or whatever, or like not get paid. But again, I don't even need to get paid. Is the food and the water and the electricity still going to be on? No. Okay, well why don't you just flick the switch and keep it on all the time? Just stop. But it's all debt, so anyway, it's a whole nother story. And that's why I'm doing cryptos. I'll put a link to show attention span animals, because people need to understand cryptos is a movement towards freedom, And that's why I created Cryptos United. Website's being built now. I'm going to start doing live soon. I'm going to bring you guys all the things that I love in the space that are uniting people. Because that's what we need to do, man. Love you guys. Thanks for coming on the show. Let's pull cards. Um, Rain just put up a video creating space within Mountain Rain. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm doing those courses now. A lot of Tai Chi Qigong stuff. So I'll be getting into that. I don't want to start teaching it now until like it's all done. So then, I don't, it's all in a good order for everybody. Because I do like to blab. I do like to just kind of say it all, put it all together. Right? So it'll be really nice. Yeah. Opening the space inside. Very important. You want to connect your three dantians. Third eye, heart chakra, and your or your sacral chakra. Open those up. That's the three: universe, or heaven, earth, and you. Yeah, all that stuff. So cool. I don't know. Let's pull cards. Let's pull cards. Let's see how today. We're gonna go to the Sweat Lodge. The Lakota Sweat Lodge cards. I don't like this box. I'm gonna put these cards in something else. It's a good. I like the box, but I don't like where how the cards are. I think we're gonna do Lemuria again. They were on point with us last time. Who was on point? Oh, the Archangel cards. I want to do Sacred Earth Oracle. We're going Native American today. For show. And then Lemuria. So do three like usual. Excuse me. Sorry, that was loud. February's walk is done. Yeah, good job. Good job, Mila. There you go. It's so true. I want a dog so bad. You have no idea. Like I want two dogs, and it's just not yet. It's I got too much going on. So bad. It's like it pains my heart every time I walk by a dog or see a dog. Oh my gosh, so jealous of like all you dog owners. So for all you dog owners, man, you guys are lucky. Okay, like yeah, I know they're yeah, she wants you exactly. They make sure that we're staying in love, like as much as they can as a dog. That's all they want to do for us. It's like, they're awesome. Like, hey man, we need to go outside. Hey man, we need to go outside. Hey man, we need to go. I'm not saying just for me. It's like for you too. You don't feel like this. You don't feel like this. You don't feel like you need to go outside. Been inside all day, all day. Like, that's cool. All right, I've been waiting for you to come home. I've been waiting for you to come home. How come you got to go outside and I didn't get to go outside? It's like, all right, let's go. And it's so true. Once you guys, when we all connect to nature again, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like that's why I always say I'm sitting outside. Like I sit outside for so long, and it's freezing outside right now. So I got to get up and do exercise, but which is good, But it's just like, oh man, like I said, we're inside the electric box. When you're inside a house, you got plumbing, you got electricity, you got all the stuff going around you. So let's see what the collective needs today, this week. Right? Until next week, pull some more. What is for the collective? For their fears and their egos. Right? It's the positive ego that you want to feed, but not like negative positive. It's the virtuous ego, right? There's ego, I'm so cool, and then there's ego, I'm not so cool, right? All of it is just ego telling you trying to keep you off balance. So it's like the virtuous, the righteous ego. the soul that you are, the person that you are. It's not your ego even, right? But it's defined in our world as egoic. To it's like someone who believes in themselves and is self-assured. Like you walk with an air of confidence. And then people say, oh, look at them, they're stuck up, and whatever. It's like, no, we call things ego, but uh, so fear and ego, facing fear for the collective. That's really what I want us all to know. Our people, that's what we gotta come together right now. Um, something else. I'm gonna let it go. Okay, you guys show. Let them drop. They always drop. I will shuffle until it drops. That's the only way that I really like to. You guys want something to say? You make it pop out of my hand. But no, I like doing the hover your hand over it too. That's fun because that like connects you, makes you feel like super connected. Yeah, no judgment. Right. That's why we got here in the first place. Somebody got mad, and then it all went to crap. Like somebody was like, why did you make me feel that way? No, I'm just kidding, right, or whatever. And then it got bad because they forgot who they were, right? And so it creates the victimizer thing, right? And then the savior, right? Shout out, what is it, Sharon and Ivo? She talks about the victimizer, and then the third, because it's a triangle. So then there's the savior. It's the victim, the victimizer, and then the savior, right? And then when the savior gets involved, that's like you going to help a situation. Now you're involved, right? Now they're blaming you, and then now who's saved? And then it just is a rotation. It's a bad cycle. Uh, it all started with the judgment. Yeah, it all started with judgment, all the way back, all the way back. Because beings in loving peace and kindness wouldn't have judgment. Beings that shared their knowledge and technology, right? We had everything we could ever need. So what happened? At some point, somebody got mad, somebody else, or something. Got envious, got jealous, got whatever it was. So yeah, that part of the story works. Yeah, and then they fell. Right? That makes sense because that's just vibration. It's just explaining. They took the vibrational story and put it into, like people walking around talking stories, and angels, of course, which are just the aliens, guys. Really, they're just the aliens. It's not to say angels don't exist or non-physical beings don't exist. It's really just the aliens. Like if you look at the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, they literally draw flying saucers, like bubble on the head, people coming down wearing masks, elongated heads, all of this stuff, bowing in front of them. Like it's like, yeah, that was it's and that's the trip. What would you have done in a time like that with gods and goddesses like that, right? Like, like Ra or whoever, or Cleopatra, or these people literally were the descendants, the bloodline, right? From so it makes sense why we have all these stories. Anyways, we got Pejuta Wakan. Pejuta Wakan. Sacred herbs. 35. Nice. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so true. The subtlety, right? The things that you're putting into yourself. Valuing tea, right? Like, yeah, we got value tea. We got to drink more of it, right? It's like, I don't know if I talked about on the show, the chaga mushroom. It has like, so it like messing with your like the free radicals. I forget what it's called. Oxygenated. It's like ORAC, ORAC. I'm trying to think of what it means, or the words, but it's basically about how much free radicals you have. And I guess in blueberries we have like maybe like at the most, or in Alaska, and there's like 60 something, or maybe 40, 50, 60, like whatever ORAC units. I don't think it's ORAC, whatever units. But then when you drink chaga in the chaga mushroom, it's literally 53,000. So like whatever we think we have that is like antioxidants, which what a lot of people think of, like blueberries, right? Like they're good, or blackberries and stuff like that, right? Like it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. 60, we'll give it 60, we'll give it 100. I don't even care. And that's probably double what it at the best blueberries we got. And you drink one chaga tea and you get 53,000. Like it's over with. It's game over. You don't ever need to eat a blueberry ever again. Just drink chaga tea. Although blueberries are delicious. So I like this card. So, what we put in ourselves. Healing, sacred herbs healing. We speak to you from underfoot, from the side of the roadway, from unpeopled places. We are always here, right where you need us to be. This is our way and our blessing, for we too are your relatives. We grow from Mother Earth side by side with you. Whatever you need, there is one of your plant relatives who can restore you. Each of us is unique as you are, as unique as Paul doesn't say. We have different work to do in different seasons as you do. This is our role, which we perform with great respect and joy, for each of us has special reason for living as you do. We're not so different from you after all. We seek to ease your way. The tradition is the most beautiful prayer is purification with an herb such as sage or cedar. To purify oneself in this way is equal to hours of prayer. Each herb carries its own healing properties and powers. Some of the herbs used in the sweat lodge ceremony are sweetgrass, which invokes positive and negative spirits; cedar, which is used to bless the rocks and in loading the sacred pipe; and sage, which chases away negative spirits, and when placed in contact with the hot stones, heals respiratory problems and colds. The card. You're being asked either to accept healing that will come your way, or to offer healing to someone you need. Healing can take place on many levels and may be offered in many ways. Allow whatever healing is appropriate for you. Ask for what you need, but do so without expectation or limitation. You may ask for healing in a particular area, and to your surprise, healing of an even deeper wound will occur, healing more integral to your overall growth and development. Among the agents of greatest healing are self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, and self-esteem. Healing your belief system is the first step in healing yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. The meditation is: I give thanks to my little sisters, the healing plants. I recognize our relationship and honor their great and gentle work. See, dude, Native Americans were the shiz, son. Like, and we think we're so cool, America. We came in love with them all. Man, we got, man, I don't even know how to talk to some Americans sometimes. Shout out to people who thought they were doing good, which is us all. So shout out to all of us. All right, I like that one. Oh. Okay, that was card one. I'm gonna do two more. Sacred Earth's going right after. Saving Lemuria for the last. No, Lemuria wants to go in the middle. Okay, I had a feeling. See what they do? They yell at me. See how they treat me? See how they treat me, spirit? Or people? See how spirit treats me? Hey, Anita, how are you? Yeah, 3 to watch your judgment. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's free sharing. Tribe should help tribe, all tribes. Yeah, totally. Like if I got something and like you really need it, like, oh my God, I need scissors. I got you. Like, like, it could be so much fun, right? The flavor is you. Oh, the special sauce, man. It's not in out there, but it is in your thoughts. If you think to be weird and spice it up, then it's gonna be spicy, right? Oh God, there's way too many cards. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to too fat and wide. All right, let's see. Collective, moving forward. Right. So it's the herbs, it's the healing, it's the subtlety. Right. Right. Pay attention to like how we have disclosure coming, how we have the minds of people slowly, the thoughts of people, right? It's gonna start their thoughts. They're gonna start thinking, why'd you say that if that's not gonna happen? And now I'm just gonna think that it's gonna happen, right? So what's happening? The thoughts have been planted, the seeds have been planted, and now they're gonna grow. You gotta make sure nobody gets hurt. Nobody else. I mean, do our part. I mean, do what we can. But moving forward. Fear, facing fear, letting go to ego, just not even thinking about it. Just not even right. But recognize it's almost like your ego. That's just a word to describe your reason. You know what I mean? Whatever your reason is for thinking, whatever you're thinking or feeling scared or feeling, whatever ego, the ego, it's really just the reason why. It's not, um, again, we think of things as like entities. Everything is an entity because we're so used to physical, matter. Like the ego, it's a guy, it's you, it's a, you know, it's just words to describe energetic states of being. All things are. So, come on now. Where we're going? Facing fear, transcending ego. How can people do this? It's gonna be big. It's gonna be important for all of us, because to transcend other people's. You know what I mean? Like I say about that victim. You get into the fight, and now you're spinning around in it with them, wrestling and tussling, and now you're saying to yourself, oh, is that me having an ego? Why did I even think that I should go in there and try to save them, right? But no, if you were just trying to say that, like trying to help, that's okay, and then if they don't tell you, I don't want your help, well, then you didn't know. So it's like, you shouldn't have done that because you made me feel this way when you tried to help and it didn't help. It's like, okay, well, like, oh well. So now, did I have an ego, my savior complexing everything, or it's all like, and it's like, no, we're trying to help, we're trying to evolve a conscious, big thick miasma of consciousness that's down here. Go. Took you long enough. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, it took you long enough. I'm just messing with you. They're just like, yeah, because we're slow, right? Dude, everything you guys do down there takes long enough to us. I know that's why I give back. See, it's not hate, it's love. That's why we talk smack about each other, right? Guys know it, girls know it. We're always pulling each other's legs, right? Checking each other, making sure we're not getting too much ego, right? You gotta do that. Spirit too, because we are spirit. This is a reflection of anything. What is the lesson? The lesson applies in all dimensions. Kind of like how I feel when I think of being a kid when I was so connected. Like, I was in the zone. Like, because you're a kid, I didn't have to, I think all of us were in our zones, like whatever that was. And I can remember so many times just not getting upset, you know, in situations, or like when people would like freak out, and I'd just be like, well, okay, you know, but you could like say it when you're kids, you know, if you say it now, somebody got mad and it just gets worse. But or you get older and, you know, people get offended. But when you're a kid, it's, you know, when you're kids, you admit it, you know, like if like now if somebody does something and then you call them out on it and they feel embarrassed, they're gonna like make it. They're gonna be like, no, I don't, or, you know, shut up, or, you know what I mean, or you know, and it's not like that happens. Sometimes people just okay, you know what I mean? That's what we want to go for. But, you know, as you get older, the ego comes in, and then, you know, there's a lot more of that happens. But when you're a kid, and it's like they face it, they admit it, they have that moment of realization, you know, they have shame, you know, and then we all get older, and then we don't have shame no more, you know, because we don't care. So, so it's like good and bad, you know, like both of it works. But um, all right, let's go to balanced forces. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess we have to balanced forces. 19. Being badass. Badassery. It's the hands out. Fingers are in. Oh no, they're just up. Palms. Yeah. Alive on all sides. Dragons. Hello. Dragon. Both sides. Bird wings. Birds wings. Snake. Right. Water. Fire. It's all here, man. Star in the center of the throat. DNA. DNA strands. Right. Balance forces. Mind, body, soul. There you go. All right, let's read. Balance forces. Says yin and yang, productive flow, masculine, feminine energy, the balance of duality, patriarchal paradigm being rebalanced. Well, okay, and the matriarchal. We there's a lot of pressure when we all talk nowadays about the patriarchal. Listen, it's not the patriarchal system that's doing anything. It's rulers of like beings. It's not about patriarch. You know what I'm saying? Like it's matriarchal too, because the suppression of it is as equal as the oppression or the overbearing of the patriarchal. So we got to stop, you know, like I see a lot of that out, you know, in social media where everyone is like after the men, you know, and stuff. It's like, y'all don't understand the plight of a man. If you got to do that, we got to, because men are supposed to face everything. Men are supposed. What's the joke, the Bill Burr, where he's like, you know, if someone breaking in our house in the middle of the night, I gotta go downstairs. Yes, he does have a knife, you know, you know, whatever. He does a whole bit, you know. That's why we get $1 surcharge for our wages more than, you know, it's like, because when everything's gonna end, we save the wife and the kids, right? What about me? No one cares about Bill. No one cares about Bob. You know what I mean? He's supposed to sacrifice his life. You know, it's just like, you know, so it's more than a patriarchal or matriarchal. Like it's literally just a jacked up thing that has a lot more to do with just power versus, you know, not power, you know, because there's women who want power too. There's a lot of women who just want power too, you know, it's equal. And that's a mentality, you know. It's over dominance of masculine, it's over dominant energy, right? Because if you're a male or a female, you know, we have to learn that polarity doesn't define the things. You know what I mean? Polarity is what we play in when we define the things that we want to play in, you know, and how they are. So, yeah, I don't know. But, anyways, that might be too much for a lot of people yet. Um, you know, but because you don't want to attack, we don't want to either side. That's why I'm always attacking everybody because we can't talk about it other way, you know. So shout out to patriarchal and matriarchal, you know, because a lot of times too, guys want to do stuff like that, build stuff and go hunt and, you know, whatever. Like, you know, that's what it was, and the women would take care of the house. Like it was natural. Doesn't mean you have to do that, or that's all you can't go hunting. You know, that's not. It's naturally like, you know, what we like to do. And it's like anytime the draft comes, right? All of a sudden, a woman who wants equal rights now she's like, oh no, I can't fight. It's like, you know, you can't fight. What do you mean you can't fight? I just thought you said you could whoop anybody's ass, and blah, 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 blah. You just ain't been training your whole life, but you could whoop anybody's ass. Okay, yeah. How about you ready to go to war? Oh no, I gotta stay. I gotta go I gotta, I don't have kids. I need to make a baby. Like it's just funny. I laugh because and guys are the same way. Like we will, you know, we're like, yeah, I'm tough. It's like, no, you're not, or whatever. Or you're totally freaked out, and that's okay. But like, we gotta face the fears, man. We just, I don't know, on every level, and like, it's blame. It's a lot of blame. We gotta stop blame gaming everything. Honestly, there's only one thing to blame, and that's the ruling money. Like literally, our oppressors. Like anyone that's oppressing anything. You shouldn't be oppressing patriarchy, and you shouldn't be oppressing, matriarchy, and you shouldn't be over esteeming either one of them either. So, yes, as it all rebalances, um, you know, because if you ask them, and that's the thing too, we act like we're not in a matriarchy. Well, listen, if you ask dudes, like, what is the number one impetus for all men to do anything that they're doing is to meet a woman, is to impress a girl. You know what I mean? Unless he's just really like he just wants power and he wants power over all people. But there's only men and women. There's like what they say, the driving force in every man is his woman. You know what I mean? It's like women have all the power that they could ever imagine if they only knew how you affect guys, right? Or whatever, like, or how you can, and how you, and again, it's not one or the other. It's all you. It all comes down to you balancing yourself. It's so fun, right? A man can't walk into the club and just be like, "Who wants to come home with me?" Literally, not a single woman would raise her hand. Like potentially, like unless she's really thirsty and she's looking and she's like, "Hmm." And even if she'll still think about it. A girl walks in, hands up in the air, every guy, and it's like, talking about you don't have. It's not fair. Yeah, it ain't fair. What was I talking? I was joking the one time. Hold on, I'm totally scrolling off here. Um, the thought, what if a guy had to be a woman for like a year and a woman had to be a guy, right? And I'm thinking of this and I'm going through and I'm cracking up because at least from my understanding, from what I've seen in this life, um, if a man had to become a woman, we would kill it. We would love it. I would, if I could have the joy and the privilege of 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 now knowing how men think, you know what I'm saying, and being a woman, I would find a good man in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever. I would find my life. I'd get everything. Like, are you kidding? Women, all you got to do is ask for stuff and we'll just give it to you. No guy can just walk up to a girl and say, "Hey, can I have, where are my flowers, punk?" Like, you ain't got no flowers for me. We're giving you stuff all the time, and it's not like women don't, they're not shouting out, but it's like, and so then if a woman had to be turned into a man, like she'd be to now, no more attention. You better get your work on. You better start working. You better face fears. You better suck it up. When the shit hits the fan, you going downstairs to see if he's got a knife, not me. You know what I'm saying? Guys, we would love it to be like, I mean, we'd have to deal with, I know y'all having babies, and I know that's one part about being a guy that we appreciate is we don't have to go through the baby making process because that's crazy. And my heart goes out to all of y'all. Y'all are, again, how powerful, how amazing are the women's, So we're in all this, dude. It's all that narrative BS, man. You know what's up, Angel Fish? I love you. Good to see you. Cosmic Bar is open. Heck yeah. But it's so funny, like, and I'd love to. I don't know. Like, I wanted to think about that forever and see how that would be like, But, and then for guys, right, living our lives, doing our thing, right, getting, not nearly the same amount of time. And now you're a woman and you could get attention like at any time. Like if guys to go from being the ones who have to quote unquote, work hard and do, blah, 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 and support and blah, blah, to now we don't have to. Like now I get to stay home with the kids and watch DVDs. Yeah, I know I've seen Frozen like a million times, but I would rather sit and watch Frozen for the 100th time than have to go mine the coal mines or like anything is better than but and again nowadays we all got to work. So but I was just cracking up with the video where they brought it up and I was cracking up. And I think it'd be great, right? Like how cool would that be? Like role reversal real quick just for like a month. It'd bring a lot of things into perspective. Men would know how to talk. Men and women would know how to talk to each other again. I was to say men and vice versa, so same thing. We'd know how to be friends again. We'd know how to. It'd be so funny. We'd respect each other, right? Like, because we'd know what it's like. So it's this one. So balance forces. So here's the balance. We're on balance forces. So the Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous, meaning they were not a specific gender, as they were only partially formed in the physical realm. They did not inhabit a paradigm of duality. They were a perfect balance of what became masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. We all hold that makes a lot of sense why I feel connected to them. We all hold a mix of masculine and feminine energies within us. Masculine energy more about focus and forward direction. Feminine is more holistic and peripheral. Masculine energy is that of logic, logistics, and actioning desires into being, and is more of a controlled and rigid vibration, right? Because we have a singular focus, right? How men can't focus, or they can only focus one thing at a time. We can't multitask, right? We're not supposed to. Stop making me feel bad. You don't care about how what you say makes me feel like, okay, geez, right? It's because we're not allowed to tell you that. If a man, every woman says she wants a sensitive man, right? If a man was the moment a man really gets sensitive and like looks at you and like cries and he doesn't know what to yeah, right. There's something biologically repulsive about that just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like and again, because it's been programmed in us for such a long time with wars and with everything, we have like a physical reaction when a man cries. The only way a man can cry is like he doesn't say nothing, and then he just lets out how much he loves everybody, and then he gets a little tear going. And he's just like, I just love you, babe. That's the most you could say. That's just most you could do. You can't tell her why. You can't tell her, what I'm saying? You can't. But it's just so funny. Like we don't accept the second a man. I think that would be so funny if we got to role reverse, just for like a year, right? Something like that. But yeah, guys, right? That forward, the father, right? And then the mother, the receptive. Both sides are to be celebrated, but in our efforts to rebalance, inequality and prejudice can occur. In the current paradigm, masculine and feminine energies are imbalanced, as our global culture is largely patriarchal and strongly influenced by masculine energy. Again, I just explained how I feel about that. Efforts to revitalize the feminine flow have been incrementally shifting the balance over the last century. It is time because for every king, there was his queen. And I think we think of it as like that they weren't as powerful. Like I think it's portrayed that way for a reason. Because what would be the reverse where the queen's going around telling guys what to do? I mean, she was the queen. She basically could. The only person, was like the king, so I guess it's by that it's considered patriarchal. I don't know. I don't know. That's just what y'all let happen and y'all decided to do. Because like there's plenty other places on the planet that are not patriarchal, that are very receptive. Generally speaking, Western is very patriarch, is very male, right? Because of wars and all this stuff. There's a lot of countries on the other side of the water that are not like this at all. You know, I mean, who's always at war? America. Who else? America. Who else? In America, right? And then it's like maybe with China, but we don't want to because they're too powerful. Whatever. Maybe with Russia. You know, like where's China at right now? Where's all the Chinese military men stationed in somewhere else? And again, I mean, they probably are, but I don't know about it. But you know, it's there's war. See, if we wouldn't be here if we didn't have the balance. So at the very least, you know, it's there's equal, but it has to be level, right? So that I agree. Okay, what am I getting at? There's something else I want to say. I know I got to think on this later. We got to explain. I'll do a masculine and feminine one. I should do more of those, like relationship things where that we all. I guess I'm kind of already talking about. Because see, okay, see now I'm stuck. Okay, this is all I'm gonna say, and I'll go to the next thing. The reason the males is because the males went to war. So if women were out there like, sign me up, I'm gonna go to war instead. And then the guys were like, hell yeah, I'd rather stay home with the kids, you know, or something like that. And then that's how the domination and the male came. It's kind of like I said, men want to go hunting and do things like this. So it's not like it's like how would we because to assume that like if it was just matriarchal now that wouldn't be out of balance too, you know. So I don't know, I always like to see the balance, guys, and I don't like to separate, you know, our forces because we're always connected and it is in balance, otherwise we'd have blown up. um but that doesn't mean that because like I say, like women have just as much power as men, right? Why do men do what they do? For the women. Like, you know, like 9 out of 10 dudes, you know, trying to impress a girl, or you're doing it. I don't know. And again, you know, it's not everybody, but I stopped doing that a long time ago. But that's like natural part of growing up and how, you know, we kind of, you know, impress the girl. I'm like, impress me. Dang. Like all I've ever found is because you're pretty, that's it. Because you're pretty, that's it. You know? Or because, you know, where's the smart, intelligent, pretty, blah blah blah. Same thing that they always say about guys. You know, it's just like we gotta come together. You know, and it's I don't know. It's not just masculine or just feminine. It's just that men go to war, and so they take the positions of generals and colonels and that's why it seems, you know, and so it's the men ordering everything around. I don't know. Okay, anyways, next, I'm gonna get way off of that because I did not want to talk about any of that, but I said it anyway. And that's usually what I do, so be careful around Michael. Efforts to revitalize the feminine flow have been incrementally shifting the balance, yes, over the last century. It's time to calm mind-based intellect, scientific data, linear direction, and the acquisition of power. Yeah, no doubt. To have an optimal human experience, we must embody a balance of both energies. We can daydream in receptive fluidity and then action our ideas into reality. That's how, right. We can be soft and nurturing and also firm and direct as needed. We can be determined, passionate, grateful, vulnerable, visionary, and strong. There can be focus and free flow. We may not draw on these energies simultaneously, but when we access both equally, we can be truly powerful centered beings. When we bridge the duality within ourselves, we can see more balance in our outer world. Yes, definitely a balance. And that's why I say it's always in that balance, you know, for every aggressive, whatever thing, there's a reason why you want to be aggressive, because maybe you're worried about whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you want to attack or you want to protect. So it's a feminine receptivity, right? Of that, and now your masculine's going to step up. Get out of my way. I'll protect my woman, who's me. Yeah. Like, it's just, and that's the thing. It's like we define it as men and women. It's not men and women. It's it's energy first. You know what I'm saying? It's you know. So the patriarchal. Yeah, I get to see patriarch. Doesn't that imply the masculine? It's just the masculine energy, right? Is out of whack, and the feminine energy is out of whack. Well, it's all just out of whack. You just gotta, you know, women emphasize theirs just as much. And that's what we gotta be careful to too. That's that why we're saying this, right? Because we don't want, just now overbearing feminine, but we need that love, receptivity, that caring, that foresight, like that. A lot of women are premonitions, right? Because they receive that. Um, yeah, we definitely need the balance. Um, this card invites you to look at masculine, feminine energy from a more balanced perspective. Is the situation at hand on the more masculine side of the spectrum? Can it be tempered with feminine energy, and vice versa? Would the addition of one or the other bring balance? What needs to happen to be holistic and equalized? Do you normally hold a position of one extreme? How might you balance this so you can experience a more optimized state of being to bring more masculine drive and focus to the situation? For instance, if you have upcoming due dates and you need to get into action mode, focus on your goals, desires, ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine receptivity, trust, flow, surrender, consider all the things you are grateful for already. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect just the way it is. Right. And that's a good point. It's that constant going and getting stuff, right? We need more. We need more. I need to do this. I need to fix that. Right. I need to be like this. And that's the male, but it doesn't mean you don't do that. Why are you doing that? Because she needed me to go to the store. My baby needed some food. So then I was like, all right, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go get it, and then she's at home cooking. We forgot butter. All right, I'm out. What else? Is that it? Text me if we got anything else. Yeah, I think we'll get there. What I want to say though, there was something here that stuck out. Yeah, like I said, don't choose one or the other. Realize it's always in balance. Because you can, by the same effect, add feminine to balance out masculine, or you can lessen the masculine and that'll just balance out the masculine, right? So there's all the confusing ways that we can talk about how to do this, and so focusing more on like male to female, it's not the purpose. It's meant so that you recognize what's going on with you, and then you just act accordingly. And you can think of it as like, it's like if you've been on the go all day, you've been masculine, 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 masculine. You get home and you want to rest, right? You don't have to think of it as this energy or that energy. You just need to rest yourself, and so understanding that you're always in balance, like the yin and the yang, and the yin within the yang, and then the yang within the yin. It's always there. It's polarity, and that's creation and non-create. That's physical and non-physical. Because so like even when you get balanced, there's polarity. Okay, and what I mean by that is because not the off balance polarities. Now you're in balance. Okay, but what does that mean? Right? So what balances out balance? Imbalance. But that doesn't mean polarity, right? And so it gets into another deeper, I don't know even how to explain, I have to unpack that. but I've kind of talked about it once on the show where, yin and yang, and then there's the Wu-Ji, which is the original prime source, in which everyone says, that that's feminine, or they say it's because it's receptive, but it's also what initializes the thought and the creation. So if you're balanced in a state of receptivity, you're also balanced in a state of like moving forward, right? So you're moving forward, but you're staying inside. You're balanced within yourself. So there's still something existing. And what is the opposite of something is nothing, right? And so where is that true point of nothingness, right? It's interesting that we all want to live and exist, but the true point, like the deepest knowing of knowing, is that point of like not knowing, or where you don't need to know, where it's and that's the thing. Everything, that we study in on our earth, on our planet, they're all representations, right, of this place, of this understanding, of this galaxy, of this, there's so much more. There's just so much more. Oh, on that. Okay, third card. Let's go. Blabbing over it. To know thyself. Yeah, it's like being able to say anything is true. Is there more patriarchal, right? Yes, but is it also more matriarchal too? If you look at, some of these ladies and who are just going from man to man. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's and the fact of like, okay, we don't have a woman president, right? That's just so they can play the game with us again and make us believe that it's all masculine. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, just keep dudes in there, and then we'll have a reason for them to fight with each other. Like that. It's really don't want 100, 200 years ago, right? Women stayed at home, took care of that was what they wanted. Like I said, it's what they wanted. They want to go to war. They want to go, and I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. And I know that there's a lot of things that they couldn't do, right? Like voting, um, stuff like that. But neither could slaves. Neither could, I don't think it was like just to get women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I think it's projected that way. So whatever it is we think we're going to fight about, because you're right, it's true. It is. It is, but it is this and is that, and that's all. And that's why we spin. That's why the world keeps spinning and not getting grounded. Um, yeah. Because then we do that in society where we see somebody say something, or like me, like I'm saying everything, and that means I could be, you can look at all of it from any way you want to look at it, and we can attack it, or we can defend it, or we can, and the whole point is again being missed, that this is all about just evolution, like moving forward, right? Like receiving, right, if you need to, and then putting it together how you want to, like non-judgmental. Like when are we going to be able to just talk and like we see each other in the world in such negative ways. We paint pictures on each other based off of a Facebook post, you know, like or a snap or a TikTok or whatever, and we act like we're these demon people. It's just like that's not even what's happening. There's actual ones, where it's like, oh man, oh, there it is. We got two of them. Okay, so we're going on 4 cards today. So first one, sacred herbs, healing herbs. There's something for everyone. Balance forces. All right, moving into, so get your stuff. Get your real, like teasing materialism. It's like it's not bad, it's great, but it's like when it owns you, it's bad. But but we should be using it. You know, that's almost the trick too, is like people who are rich, wealthy, whatever, they have stuff all the time and they're not hating on it. They don't have an issue with it, or that they, you know what I mean? They can just afford it. That's all you know, so if it's something that you love and that brings you love, you know, and you can stay detached from it, right? Um, those are the things you want to keep. The things that you can let go and that come back to you are the things that you can keep. But you have to know why they're coming back. You know, that's why you'll only know something's true intention until you fully let it go. Whether it's your own thoughts or it's your own stretch. Like, whoa, we got two. We got two. So the first one is stretch. Stretch. Yeah, look at that. She is decked out. I love nature, like insane. Like trees, forests, grass. It's my jam. They're floating in an endless space on a rock. No big deal. Exactly right. How much of life do we all ignore on a daily basis? Gemini, I know not. Is that what that is? Or is that Pisces? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm a Pisces. I forget what the symbols are. All of them. Know thyself, the word. Yeah. Are we just here to get it over, to get over it? Get over it. Exactly. Oh, you're singing the mic. I'm like, wait, that's not sentence. Hold on. So we got stretch. Obviously, we always got to stretch, and that's the thing too. You guys, we got bodies to build. You guys want, you know, we want our light bodies. You want this. That means you got to stretch. Put yourself, the earthly meaning, put yourself forward, stand in the sun, grab an opportunity and run with it. Reach beyond the shade, out of the comfort of darkness, and step into life. Holding yourself back is counterintuitive. Doubt, fear, anxiety, and grief may be part of your journey, but don't let them be the journey. Reach out, stretch yourself little by little, grow strong, and live. Spiritual meaning, live was in all caps. Spiritual meaning, in a fleeting moment of grace, in the space between your thoughts, you glimpse a silent bliss that is beyond words or expression. This all encompassing love is your soulful spiritual center. It is without beginning or end. Reach for it, and this state of grace shall be a guiding light in this world and beyond. It is life, it is eternal. Exactly. It's all in the stretch, it's all in the breath. What's breath? Stretch, stretching, the breathing. It's all in the stretch, it's all in the grass, that little shoot coming out the grass. That plant's coming alive. He's just, yes. What is that sun? Why does that sun feel so good? Why does it make me literally grow? Like, this is the most amazing sun I've ever experienced. like, think about how good it must feel for a plant to like get sunlight. Like, it's crazy. All right. To secure a place in, so the insight to secure a place in the sun. Oh, to secure a place in the sun, plants stretch and grow towards the sunlight. Even though they are fixed in place, they actively avoid the shade cast by their neighbors and reach single purposely for the light. Being the surface beneath the surface of the earth, they extend themselves in search for water and nutrients. The plant roots are positioned with as much care and determination as their light chasing leaves. All that they reach for is transformed into growth, and this growth makes them strong and fruitful. Even in the darkest of caves, subterranean tunnels, and ocean trenches, life is trained towards sustenance. The urge towards that which will nurture and enrich you is instinct. It is natural. It is life. Position yourself towards all that is life affirming. Words, foods, activities, hobbies, songs, images. I had thoughts, right? Grasp for goodness, grow beyond the shade, and be fruitful. Remember, a seedling doesn't grow beyond the canopy overnight. It gets there by consistently seeking the light that is just out of reach. Whoa, that was intense. Or the light that's just on it because the sun came out and it was making it all dramatic. Hopefully that's cool. Like, we got to get back to the purpose, man. What are we doing? Why are we all here? I ain't here to live life under control of nobody. Get out of my way, shadow. I need to be fruitful. Excuse me while I go be fruitful. You mad? You mad I'm not hanging out with you in your darkness? Well, why don't you come be fruitful? You know what they don't get it. Water, air, yeah, that's me. Hot water, Libra, and Pisces, Moon. And then I'm a double Libra, the other two are Libra. So all over the place. I'm crazy. The tedium. I love that because I think like all of us could say that about all of us. Like, I can't wait, man, till we all just start coming together and laughing our heads off with no fears, Like I can't tell you how many times when I just, I don't know, just let go and then somebody gets scared. Somebody's like somebody gets scared of what Michael's talking about um, at some point. So the earthly meaning, okay? Balance. Okay, sure. So we got balance. Look at that. We got balance twice. Oh, so you wanted to come out and join. Look at this. I wanted to come out and join balance forces. Okay. So you thought we needed some more Native American wisdom with this. Okay. Yeah, because we got Native American cards. First, we got the herbs. Now we got these ones, stretch and balance. And Lemuria is talking about balance forces. So the earthly meaning, the tedium or drudgery of a safe but unstimulating environment. Denying a problem worsens an outcome. Avoidance of the tough stuff. I have no idea what I just read. Okay, can we come down, please, a little bit? I just read that without comprehension. Um, yeah, I still don't comprehend it. Whatever. It's too many words. See, hear me? I'm back. I'm all over, but sometimes I'm just like, no. Okay, avoidance of the tough stuff causes dependence. This is where I'm gonna be in a guy. Can't multitask right now. All right. And I don't know what they expect us. Like, that's not even English, right? Like, we can't read what you're saying. I love you. Thanks for coming on, Chan. The tedium of drudgery of life, but unstimulating. Okay, wait. Avoidance of this tough stuff causes dependence, stagnation, or loss of self. Make mistakes with the purpose of learning from them. Aim to manage stress rather than eliminating it. Minimize damage by turning a difficulty to your advantage. A challenge brings needed incentive, right? So going back to facing your fear, right? No one can hurt you, right? Unless you let them hurt you. So if everything anybody's saying are just words, there's literally never a point in time that that anyone ever needs to feel hurt because they're just words. It only hurts once you allow it to hit you in the feels. That's it. And you are the only one who gets to decide that, you know? Um, and that's tough. It takes practice. I know. We all want to be liked. We all want to be, right? That's a natural, or, connection, with each other. We want to be, and if you're sitting there, I don't need to be, I mean, it's okay. Calm down, right? But it's all about getting to that place even then to where you don't need to be liked. You don't need, right? We don't need, you have everything that you need. Balance, let's go. All right, I'm going to shut up. Challenge helps, spiritual meaning. Challenge helps you face and overcome fear. This challenge is a blessing that will in some way make you stronger and more resilient. Open yourself to the light of the world. Draw it into you, be empowered by it, and channel it into your environment for all benefit from. It's exactly what I'm saying. When you're in the moment, you snap people out of it. You go like, no, I don't care. Listen, this is just getting to be a headache. I don't care about your rules. And I just want to have fun. And I guess all you guys forgot about how to do that. So I'm just going to be really weird right now. And I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to call you out right here, right now. I'm going to speak what I want to say because this is how I feel. And I hope you have a nice day. I'm going to leave now, because this is not fun. Just there's no reason you're not responsible for everybody else, man. You know what I mean? Like that's a big trap for a lot. Like, yeah, you got babies, you're responsible for them, by, the standards and all of that, but even then, like, if you tell your kid their whole 18 years, I'm responsible for you, well, then they're just gonna be like, I'm just gonna wing it. Then, if you don't teach them to be responsible for them, you know what I mean? That's not how, you know. No, get out of my face. Um, draw it into you. Be empowered. Okay, face all that comes your way and trust your ability to make change for the greater good. Insight in deserts, deep sea volcanoes, and the near freezing waters of Antarctica. Life persists in a show of creative resilience. Each pocket of life is linked to the temperature, soil, water, geography, and all living beings and their shared environment, the biome. Energy enters a system as light, and is transformed into nutrients that are recycled from plant to herbivore to carnivore until it exits the system as heat. Over time, systems fall into finely tuned balance. A disruption to one element impacts all other parts of the system. When wolves were eradicated from Yellowstone, the result was so dramatic that even the course of the river had changed. When they were reintroduced 70 years later, there were fears the wolves might devastate the wildlife and cause havoc for the park. However, they brought the balance the park needed. Keeping elk on the move allowed young plants to thrive and erosion decrease. With the availability of saplings, beavers returned to the park. The presence of predatory pressure was necessary for a balanced environment. The impact of even a small change can ripple across every area of your life. Take comfort in knowing that pressure is a vital element for growth and abundance. Ooh, I really like that. That's definitely what we need to hear as a collective moving forward. Pressure. Because that's exactly what the world has been under and what we've all been feeling for a while now. Whatever it is, pressure to do this, pressure to do that, pressure from your family, pressure from your friends, pressure from your job, pressure from no more pressure, no more pressure. I mean, a little bit, right? What they say, you want to manage it, like a little pressure, right? And it could be as simple as, something else you could do today, and what is that pressure, right? Because that's you pressuring yourself to do something good, go work out, do something good for yourself, right? But then, you know, we say no or whatever, and then we like buckle under, like it's too much, or I don't want to work out, or it's, or I don't have time, or and this and that, and then you don't do it, and then you're like sitting there 5 hours later, like, I could have worked out like within the past 5 hours. It took me 30 minutes. I probably feel bad, and then you feel bad. Oh, I should have done it. It's like we're all just doing these things for ourselves, as people. The pressure to do everything or to do anything, right? And so I'm glad we're talking about this right now, because I want to talk about the fact of see, now you made me lose it. I don't hate you guys. I'm gonna punch you. I hate when you do that because it's like I want to remember what I was saying. They're like, no, you don't get to. Okay. I had a thought right there, and they're like, yeah, well, we weren't done yet. But what was I saying? Come on, bring it back. Come on, pressure. Oh, it's gone. Oh, well, too bad, so sad. 2 hours and 8 minutes. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I hope it helps. I hope it makes sense. I think that's my big thing is, doing all these videos. It's like, there's so many things to come into view, into consciousness, into awareness, and that will continue to come into awareness and consciousness of you. The more you ascend, the more you vibrate higher, and I think it's important we talk about them all, right? Especially because we live in such a censored world, guys. Like, we're it's censored by us, right? Because people don't even want you to say things that don't sound nice, or we're like I've been saying this whole time. There's connections everywhere in what I try to say, and because of that, it can seem like it's all over the place for some. So I apologize, for any of you guys out there who might be trying to figure out, but um, Transmission aborted. Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. I think telling me to get off, take a break. I need to hydrate or something. Uh, Dry. Agreed. Oh, thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. Like, um, and yeah, I'm excited, because I'm gonna be doing more like actual, I don't do too much like actual meditations on here, and things like that. Like I just like to talk about it because, you know, if you can learn to do your own, everybody knows how to meditate, you know. Um, and I agree that it is helpful when people do guided because sometimes it's nice to just, let someone else, go with your mind. It's more difficult, if you meditate by yourself and you think, okay, well, what do I have to meditate on or how do I go about doing it? Or, if you get caught up in stuff like that, once you learn how to do it, it's easy and you learn where you're going, what you're doing, what you're thinking. But knowing, you know, um, the body, mind, that'll teach you. You can teach yourself. Um, you just follow uh, what comes. But and then you know the difference between what's overbearing. When you're thinking too much, yeah, hey, happens to everybody, especially if you're starting to meditate, or if you haven't in a while and you've got a lot of stuff that you gotta center again. But yeah, anyways, I'm excited. I'll be doing all that stuff. So 2022 is gonna be huge. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We got a lot of changes coming. Like I said, the next 10 years is gonna be a whole different world, whole different world. Um, and again, it's how you look at it, right? I mean, it always is how you look at it. Because I'd say for a lot of people, in the spiritual realms and making contact and so, it's kind of the world we've been living in, trying to live in more. So, right, it's not really here yet, right? But it's like, so it might not look totally different for some of us because some tells me I'll still be like, come on, are we still waiting? We only got this much done, in the next 10 years, But it will be totally different, and I'm excited for that to see what that's all going to be because I know it'll be totally different. So keep your spirits high, you guys. It really is. It's all happening, and you guys can see it. You guys know it. You can feel it. I was watching a cryptocurrency uh, brother out there from another mother, right, of mine, and even he was talking about how it feels like there's been a shift in like the global like mindset or however he was explaining it, and I'm just like, ooh, there it goes. Like, yeah, get it. It's like this, we start seeing that in each other, right? And people, you can see it. You can see it in people, right? When they get there, um, right? Don't pay attention to the narrative. That's not what's happening. You know what I mean? What's happening to people is what's happening to people inside and internally and whatever. But what they're showing on TV, that's not what's happening. You know what I mean? That's what some people are doing. That's what they're trying to do and trying to say. You know what I mean? That's not what's happening. And then again, it's not like, okay, here we go again. There's always exceptions, guys. You know what I'm saying? All right, I love you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna peace out and stretch and do exercises today for sure. I totally sweat. Woo, sleeping pits. Yeah, go outside where it's freezing. I can spend forever. Start working out. That's where I'm doing I'm doing different like um, animal styles. So we'll get into that. I'll probably release that first. That or the Dantian meditations, so you guys can open your channels. Um, and then I got to figure out how to put it up somewhere, and like I'm gonna do the whole courses, and it'll be a course, and it'll be like probably like an 8-week course or something. But um, I'm gonna be doing snippets anyways, so you guys can eventually just follow me on here and just get it all for free. Of course, it won't be as dedicated, focused, or you know, like as going through the course would be. But it's that wanting to just do this because it's what I want to do anyways. But then we all live in a world where we gotta somehow survive, get a source of living, right, or whatever. And the more I can do this, the happier it makes me. So as long as I can find that balance between being able to give enough, to receive enough. Like I think, and that's a good point because I said that a couple years back. That's to me is what the new economy should be. Like, you know, instead of paying pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars a year, right? Imagine we took all that money and we gave it to like holistic healers, like herbs and whatever, and like mom and pop shops. We would change the game in a heartbeat. We want a new economy of where it's surrounded with higher technologies and and all of this stuff. Well, we just got to start paying for it, or whatever. Like instead of going to that doctor, go to the shaman, crazy Joe who lives outside of the city because he can't stand the city. He's doing all his shamans with his rattle. Go to him, right? Pay him every month for your prescription. And you know what'll happen? You'll get cured of it and you won't need to pay him anymore. And then I don't know, that keeps the economy going. But I mean, like for real, I think that's a big part of what's going to come because it's going to be more powerful. It's going to be more healing. More people are going to be interested in it. Like think of the number of people who pay for tarot card readers, right? Right. So if like you get one done, and then what if that person's like, yo, now I want some healing thing done over here, and then he pays a healer, and then that healer pays some other healer, and then that healer, right? That's our economy. We got a new economy. It's already here. We just gotta. It's just gonna keep growing. Let's just put it that way. And it's part of the change. Like we can't feel bad for, we're already in that system. You got to do what you got to do as long as you're not, being outrageous. That's why I say like more money, more problems. Like I don't want the responsibility of owning a mansion. You know what I mean? Like I would want one if someone else managed it for me. Like, I just want to live in it and just walk around and do stuff. And when food's there, I want to get food. And when I want to go in this room, I want to go in that room. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want the responsibility of actually having to, like clean the whole thing, trusting other people in my house for maids and like landscaping people. Like, we got to do all that. You got to take care of all that land. That's a big thing. That's why I say, give me, a couple acres. So I got some like room. I want to see some deer walking through in the backyard. And stuff like that. So 5 acres or something, and then a nice little spot. That's all I need. Get a pool. Gotta have a pool for the summertime. Little things like this. Keep it simple. Less is more. Because you have more time to enjoy it. And got too much stuff. I mean, I do that when I look at my crystals and I go, I got so many crystals. Like, I'm like, if I had one crystal, I would be working with that crystal all the time, right? But I have like so many, so it's like, so it's a trade-off, guys. Like I say, it's not good or bad. It's good to have these things to help self-identify. It's fun. It's supposed to be playing. All right, so on that note, play, guys, play. That's all I want to say. What would the card say? Herbs, balance, and stretch. That's good. I like that. Especially the world's gonna have to stretch. We need balance on the double, 2 cards on balance, and then people are gonna have to go to the healing. Uh, it's interesting that they did the healing, the sacred herbs like that, instead of considering what's going on out there, like this kind of stuff. And I was talking about chaga and the blueberries, right? Was that before or after? I don't know, whatever. Just, just taking it easy, man. Living life, being alive, feeling alive. You don't need stuff to feel alive, right? Like I said, adrenaline. Or why do people argue? Or why do people start up arguing? They want to, it's because they feel alive. Their boring lives or whatever, their mundane life, and then So they want to feel excited, so they'll start arguing. And some people, do it, purposefully, but I think a lot of people, sometimes most people, it's just kind of like, a habit, or like it happens by accident, sort of. But we've got to pay attention to stuff. Meditation is simple. It's done by taking no thought. Yep. Ask yourself a question and don't have the answer. Yeah. I tell myself all the time, be quiet. Shh. Say shh. Shut up. Shut up. I love you. I love you. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, however, don't see me good. I woke up congested today. Yeah. No, it's so true. And or like, animals meditate. They just sit there. They're just good. They don't have nothing to think about, you know? Like, when is the best time to meditate for a lion? After a meal. Right? Because he's had nothing to worry about right there at that point. That's why we go into food comas. When you have a good meal, like, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. You eat too, unless it's like morning. That's only, because you're too up. But, if you eat too heavy or too much or too, it's time for a nap. That's a wonderful moment. That's you going like, all right, now I gotta use these nutrients to the best of my capability. So I'm gonna shut my dumb head up, right, from thinking about everything every 5 seconds when I got digesting to do. Okay, and of course we live in that fast-paced world. We don't have all the time. It's like healing a wound. We don't, or being sick and only getting 3 days sick from work or something, and then you need a doctor, or like how to heal. Take this pill and you take these antibiotics, and after 72 hours or 48 hours, whatever, you can go back to work. And it's like, you should not be at work still if you like, if you're sick, but it's a fast pace. So that's why it's extra important to really do nothing. And don't feel bad that you're doing nothing. Don't work harder, work smarter, right? So if you need that time, you take that time and you make sure it clears you clear your mind and your heart, and you feel better. Or like I said, hop in the shower, take a bath, right? Something, change it up, and you'll feel the difference, and you'll be glad you did. Period. Easy. You just, every time, we're always glad we did. It. You get back from taking that walk that you didn't want to take, and you feel better. Even if you lost an hour, right? No, lack mentality. No, you're not losing nothing. Everything you're doing it for the exact reason that you're doing it, and move forward. Right? Too much, we speculate too much, what else? Speculate. They're just laughing. Yeah, don't speculate. Well, it's feminine and and masculine. That's what I want to say, because we're talking about balance. It's right, and you need to sit so you know what to do next. Like the card said. The card said it. Okay, get out of here. We're done. Show's over. Get out of here. Show's over. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I love you guys, man. No doubt. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna build a whole new world. We're building it right now. It's being built, whether they want it to be built or not. Too bad. So sad. It's coming, because love is the winner in all situations. Eventually, in some cases, right? Don't worry, time doesn't exist, so don't worry, it's okay. We're just here to play the game. We're just here to play in every sense of the way. I mean, yet to live, like, yeah, and to play. Everybody who wants to live wants to play, right? Everyone wants to play, wants to live, so they could play. That's all it is. It's playing. That's the key. That's why they don't want us to have free time to learn, to grow, to experience life. We're going to take you to college and teach you. It's like, no, get away from me. How about you give me money, and then I'm going to just go travel the world. I'm going to learn way more in like 5 years that I could learn in 12 years of school. Well, like I said, I think the first ones are good because you got to learn how to spell and do math and stuff. So, it's like, that's why I liked school up until, you know, high school and all that. And it's just weird. It got weird. People got weird. I think the learning was neat. It was fun. Like, I didn't really ditch a lot of classes. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, it was like a hand, like maybe five, for all 4 years of high school. But I enjoyed on some level, even if I, maybe not every class, but I enjoyed listening to the stories that the people were, the teachers, whatever they were, right? Because when I'm listening, I'm analyzing this guy, I'm figuring out this guy's life, where he's coming from, why he's saying what he's saying. I'm thinking about, like, I'm doing way more. Anyways, but it's that everything that you experience is that wonder and joy. It has to be. Like we said that in the last one, with the bear when you're a kid, and it's so wonderful. But now he ate you, and so now you're older, which again doesn't make sense. But I'm just saying now you're older, and you're like, no, don't go to the bear. They're gonna eat you. So where's the wonder and joy, with that? But it's you deciding whatever it is you want to think about something, man. It really is. And a lot of what we think is based on what makes sense or is common or what most people would think, because, oh yeah, it makes sense for us to now communicate with each other, right? But truly what it means to you, I mean, that's so far, it could be so far off. We do everything with with this like sense of like, responsibility for like everyone else, or something like it. It's all part of the game or whatever. You being happy, that's doing for other people. It's not believing somebody just because like they're they need someone to believe that. It's we got it. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. I hope you feel what I mean there. Don't do that. If anything's like on that frequency, don't do that. Don't do that. Once it feels weird, don't do that. You know, it's okay to not understand each other. And it's not like we can't explain. It's not that hard, son. It's not that hard. The reason it's hard is because your belief structure is too rigid. That's why it's hard to understand anything, period. Okay, I love you guys. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm gonna go. I'm glad forever. Get me out of here. Bring me back down. Doing it, doing it. It's so funny that you sing that song. I sing that song all the time. That's LL Cool J, Loungin', isn't it? Is it Loungin'? Right? I always think of that song for some reason. That phrase that you just said that way. I'm telling you right now. Yo, we are connected on some level. Um, yeah, there's no more pay, love, free energy, and sharing our gifts and talents. Exactly. Right. And as long as we need like resources, though, like money as a resource, our energetic, right? That's how it should come in. But until you get in that flow of what you're giving, it's okay to receive. Like it is. It is, and I know that's such a big issue in the spiritual community. Like, I don't want anybody to pay for my services. Okay, well then put all of it out there for free. But if you have like something that, costs a little, that's okay too. Like, don't, but if you majorly just want it to be free, but for a lot of people, we all got to live lives. Like if you're trying to like, you're charging like thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, and like, because like if you're like a spiritual for the people and you're like in a freaking glass castle, I mean that's probably a little much. Should probably give some of that away. You know what I mean? But I think I think it'd be great if we could all literally like support each other's lives by just us doing like tarot cards for each other, right? Like, hey, I'm a little short this week, so I'm going to do a bunch of tarot readings for people. I'm going to put it up there. you guys want to donate, you know what I mean? Like, and that's hard because we don't know when people are being honest, you know what I mean? Like, we should all be helping each other, but we don't want to help, you know, and people just lie or something. But yeah, that'll be the better economy, the newer economy, once we, you know, for better or worse, whether it should be paying or shouldn't be paying, you know, the move into more spiritual and energetic practices is a good thing overall. So, um, yeah, again, but and you know, we got to do our research too. Like for me, I've been doing this like 3 years now. 2019, uh, sort of towards the end is like October, I think. So maybe 2.5. Um, and like everything I've done is free. Like I have my services if people want to come. You know, I've had a number of people. You know, but this isn't like my living. You know, or something, right? Um, but I'd love it if it could be. I'd love it if it could be for you guys too, because especially when I see you guys, like I watch the tarot card, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just, it's like, you know, it's like a dad or a mom or, you know, and the kids in the background, you know, are just doing, it's like, and I love it. I love it. I would rather see that than some professional looking blah, 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 blah. And it's not like professional isn't good too, you know, but I love seeing that, you know, and it's like, those are the people I would pay for in a heartbeat because hey, neat, that's someone you want to like, you know, support. So you got the kiddos, you know, whatever in the background. Like it's so I like to think that, you know, we'll eventually have a huge economy. We're gonna have a huge economy around all this stuff. Um, and that's, you know, voting with your dollars, right? Choosing what you buy, choosing what you invest in, so that to create more of it, you know, being each other. Um, which is tough because then, you know, a lot of us work like a job, let's say, and then so we have to work that job to then support, you know. So that's why I say I like the idea once we all start to circle it, like within, you know, in any community, not only, you know what I'm saying, but like in an economy will pop up or something with that, because I think that's like if we could turn all the money into and all the jobs into just spiritual work, and then we all got paid and we all did spiritual work, like everybody on the planet, it'd be totally normal. It'd be totally normal, you know, and we wouldn't have to pay one more or other. It could just be like, you know, channeling services and readings, flat amount, and then you go to whoever you resonate with, right? Like that, you know, because that's once we all realize we can do this and we all are channeling, we can, you know, it's the level of degree is only the level of development and conscious awareness that someone's done within themselves, you know. So that's really all you're, you know, you're paying for, if it's more or less, or the experts or the this or the that. And everyone is going to appear to have more or less depending on who you resonate with, you know, like me, blabby blabby, not everybody's going to like blabby blabby, so they're going to go, you know, in the more focused, I guess, maybe like, I guess to compare, I don't know if it's a good compare, but you know, linear route, I want to say, maybe like, you know, one step at a time, you know, and because all of this is linear, it's just right? Because you can only put so much together, and then you come back, listen again, and I say the same things or something, but it sounds different, right? When you read things that you read before, or you hear guidance that you've heard before, now it really resonates, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly where I'm at now. I remember hearing about it before, you know, but now I'm there. Like that really resonates with me, even though it was totally different. But like, right, just we gotta open this up. We gotta air it all out. We gotta air it all out. That's what it is. Because that's what everybody has something to say. Everybody has to, you know, and that's censorship, everything. So we need to catch it. We need to catch it in a nice, loving, soft net where everybody knows we can talk about all of it. Okay, Michael's here to talk about all of it. Like, don't get right. We get upset with the way, well, you got like mad, Dad, where you answered that like this, and you got excited about that, and then when we said that, you just didn't care. And then it's like, stop trying to act like you know everybody. You know what I mean? And what that implies is like, you know somebody because you already feel it and you get that instinct automatically. You know, and then the rest is just the words that then describe this and that resonate with the person. You know, and what we're doing is we're putting all the like filters of like of judgment, right? You know, it's yeah, you guys know. See, I feel like I'm saying this right over and over, but there's so many ways that I'm saying it that are the same, but they're different, right? Weird. But that's what we that's why and people will recognize that they're doing that too once they get past the fears and they're not afraid to talk. That's why it's huge. Censorship, all this slavery mindset, this oppression, and you can't say this and you can't say that. And if you know you don't have this certificate or degree, then you don't know what you're talking about. You know, it's like what? Like, get away from me, all of you guys. You guys suck. Like seriously, if I had to pick people like hang out with, it would like never be you guys. Like I don't know why. Like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you know that's my judgment. That's my resonance. You know that's the difference. Telling this guy in trouble for being the class clown. Always got terrible for being through class clown. There that reads better. Yeah, you know it's right? You're a class clown. There's something wrong with you. It's like, no, man, you guys are boring. That's what's wrong. You know what's wrong? Like, I wish I would love to see that, like a kid, like a little kid or something, you know, or teen, or, you know, 11 years old maybe, just like go off, like, or no, kid. They have to be like a kid, child, more like 2 year old or second grade, third grade, right? Just go, you know, like he's just like being a goofball, and then you're like, "Will you stop being the class clown?" And the class clown, this class is the clown. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I would love to see that because he would be so right. You know what I'm saying? This school bullshit is the clown in the first place. You know, or you know, this class is boring as hell. You know it. I know it. You falling asleep talking, standing up talking, you're still falling asleep, you know, and I'm just trying to have some fun. You need to be disciplined and you need to do what I say. Kiss my ass, Mr. Teacher. I would love to see that person because someone like that knows who they are and they're going to go find what they want to find out of life and they're going to go learn whatever they need to learn and they're going to be successful, right? It doesn't mean you're not going to be successful because you didn't do what your teacher said. But is that not what's exactly programmed in? Oh my God. Oh my God. Get me out of here. I said I was going to go half an hour ago. I love you guys. Don't say anything else. I don't have anything to read. All right. I'm leaving, running. Get away. Love you guys. See you next time. And thanks for coming as always. Peace.